I'm going to show you a tool that will help you to quickly create an SOP, a process document, even if you have no idea what your process is. And this is something that will save you hours. It's something that will save you a crap ton of time, and it'll get you on the road to creating SOPs that your team loves, SOPs that automate what you do, and ultimately that make you money while you sleep. So before I get into this, hi, my name is Dean Soto. I'm the founder of prosulum.com, prosulum.com. We are a virtual staffing agency. And you might have heard of virtual assistants or outsourcing, things like that. You save a lot of money, way more than if you had somebody in-house. But with a virtual assistant, with employees, with whomever, you give them a task and hopefully they get it done. Often you're going to have tons of questions. With a virtual systems architect, which is what we have, we call them VSAs, you give them a task, they document it, and they do it. Give them a task, document, do. Give them a task, document, do. Eventually, every task that you give them is completely off your plate, automated, and your business runs without you. So if that sounds great, go to www.prosulum.com. All right. So one of the biggest pain points that my clients and people had, including myself, when I first started to learn how to create standard operating procedures, systems, processes, things that I knew my business needed in order to work without me, was that they took a frick ton of time to do. They took so long to write. And part of the reason why I created this in the first place, why I created Prosulum in the first place, was because the amount of time it took to write out a process, I wanted to have a quick, easy way of doing it. So I'd rather show somebody else how to do it, let them document it, and then let them do it as well. But not everybody had that, and not everybody wanted to jump into that. And so I started to figure I needed to come up with ways where, even if I didn't understand totally my process, I can start building something out of that. And we're going to go into that tool in just a second. But if you are in that spot right now where you are burned out, you know that you need to start documenting things, you know that your team needs to have documentation, step-by-step checklists, how to do something, yet you don't know how to get to that point, that's where I hope to give you an amazing free solution right now. Let's face it, you're likely trapped in an explanation loop. Okay, if you have a staff, whether they know what they're doing and they leave and somebody else takes their place and you need to explain it again, or somebody where there might be a little change in something, how something works, you get question after question. How do I do this again? Can you show me one more time? Oh, I forgot the steps, or there's an error, things like that. You start getting your inbox filled up, or your Microsoft Teams filled up, or you start getting questions from Slack, and so on and so forth. And the problem is you get sucked back into decision, having to teach, having to train, things like that. And you can't build off of that. And then you have, for me, I did not have what we have today. We have such amazing technology today. Back when I was starting to understand how people like Jeff Bezos, Mark Cuban, Marcus Lemonis, how they grow their business through process, through checklists, through systems and stuff, you had to sit down and write everything out. Okay. So when somebody's like myself, it's like, yeah, just document it. Just document everything. You just explain what you do and get it documented. It's easier said than done, right? Because if you've ever documented a process, ever made a standard operating procedure, it is daunting. And you pray, you hope that nothing changes, because if it changes, then you have to do it all over again, right? So for me, each process documented was a long time. So typically you're going to find that documenting these things, writing these things out, each process takes about 3 to 5 hours to document properly. Okay. And you typically are going to need to learn some kind of special software, whether it's Google Docs, or whether it's, if you're using some other tool like Sweet Process or Trainual or something like that, you're still going to have to learn how to use it, right? And then a lot of the times these places will have, like, if you do have templates and stuff, they don't really actually fit your workflow. And nothing's going to be perfect, right? But no template's going to save you. And so every single time I'd find a template on how to do something, I'd be like, oh crap, that's not really it. Once it's all done, God forbid something changes, now you have to go and change all the documentation again, on whether it's yourself doing it or an employee. And your teams will still, if you don't do them in the right way, people are still going to ask questions if you're not detailed enough, right? So a lot of the times people just give up and they say, my team won't use them. They won't update them. I don't have time to update them. You go right back to explaining things manually. Okay. So a lot of the times there are 3 reasons why SOPs fail, standard operation procedures fail. And it's why yours probably will too, if you are just doing it on your own and just doing it and spending hours doing it, right? So first is perfection paralysis. Now, this happens in 2 ways. One, you're explaining the process and halfway through, you're like, oh crap, I forgot that step. Now you have to go all the way back. You have to renumber everything. You have to do all that stuff. The other is, I don't really truly know my process, so I can't even write it out. This is where people get it wrong. A lot of times, especially when you're first starting out, you might not even actually know your process. And so as you explain it to somebody or as you write it out, that's when it starts to build out into its own thing. And that was one of the ideas I had, was like, if I could just get somebody to, even if they don't even have a process itself, maybe you want to know how to do cold emails or something like that, and you want to add that to your business. What if I had a tool where I could just type in and say, I can say, this is how to send 10 cold emails a day to companies that are in my area, and have it like generate an SOP based off of that. And then you can modify the SOP however you want it to. That would be amazing, right? Or you know the process but you just want to say it. You want to say it and have it be even more detailed, and it's more detailed to what you said, right? So that perfectionism, once you kill that and you actually are able to get things moving, you're going to see that SOPs come out faster. The other is the detail death spiral, like all the different possible scenarios and things like that. A lot of times when you're starting out, you just need to get things done. So the faster you get something moving, then you can edit it, you can change it, you can see what's real, what's really going to, the different paths that could happen and what's not real. And then the updating is always crazy, right? Updating sucks. It does, because you spend 5 hours creating this thing and then you have to update it when a user interface changes or some account changes or whatever. Okay. Here's the real issue. You're trying to create SOPs the same way that you are doing a term paper. They don't have to be perfect, but you need to have that balance of quickness. And if they do get updated, because it was so quick over here to do, I can update. I don't have that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal updating, because it's only going to take a few minutes, right? So what if you could do any document in 60 seconds? Any process document. What if you could document and write out a process in 60 seconds? So this was the basis of Prosulum for years and years and years. If I could show somebody with a 5-minute video how to do something, my virtual systems architect documents it, and then they do it. Well, a lot of the times people just need to understand and get the taste of, can I describe something? Even if it's one sentence, if I write out one sentence, can I describe something and have a document made for me? And then have it get it formatted in a way where it's doable, it's usable, and then hand it off. And then, like, I have a lot of clients wanted, and a lot of prospects wanted to have that, so then they can dip their toes in process documentation and then ultimately get a virtual systems architect, which completes the entire system, and they're able to scale at like half the cost of what you would do with somebody in-house. All right. So what if you could do this 60 seconds, no special software, no templates, no 5-hour documentation sessions, just describe the task, get the SOP, and move on to the next thing. That's what I wanted to create forever. The cool thing is that we have it. Okay, so it's called the Instant Process Generator, and it's built just for you. You can describe any task you do that's more than once, and you'll get a professional SOP in 60 seconds or less. So delivered to your inbox. Pretty dang cool. So if you go to instant.myprosolume.com, I'm going to show you what it looks like in just a second. You can use this tool. You can use it up to 3 process documents per day, and those for free. So every day you can do 3 process documents, 3 process documents, 3 process documents, if that's what you want to do. And from there, you'll get started scaling your business, which is the most important thing, right? So let me show you what this looks like. All right, so the Instant Process Generator. So if you go to instant.myprosolume, not Prosolume, instant.myprosolume.com, PROSUL, and you can just click the link in the description. You're going to go here. All right. And let's say you have no idea what your task is going to, how to actually do your task. You can, the more that you describe, so this is how I would do it. I'm going to give you my way of doing it, and then I'll give it if you had no clue what to do. So you have about 5,000 characters, which is a lot, okay, that you can pop in here. If this were me, I'd get out my phone, I'd go to instant.prosolume.com, I'd click the Siri or some kind of speech to text thing, and I would say something like, this is how we do cold email lead generation for all of our prospects in the Central Valley area. So the first thing we do is we go to zoominfo.com, or we go like that, and I would just describe what we do, okay? And it would be pasted into here. It would start populating into here. It doesn't have to be perfect. Keep in mind, this is using AI, so it doesn't have to be perfect. But you explain what you're doing here, and in the end, you're going to have a process document. So I'm going to populate this since I don't have a way of doing it via voice right now here, but let me populate this and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so I just did a little test thing right here. So how to onboard new financial services clients based on their total net worth. This is completely 100% an example. Tier 1, if they make under $300,000 in total assets or have that in total assets, we refer these partners to our partner XYZ Corporation. If they're over $300,000 in total assets, but under $1 million in total asset value, they are our diamond members, and we give them access to our real estate and financial advisor team. If they are over $1 million in total assets, these are our emerald members, and they have everything in diamond membership plus direct access to me and our foreign investment and multi-unit franchise team. This is a completely 100% fake process, okay? And then I'm going to show you 2 ways. One is literally just to do this sentence. The other one is to do all of this, okay? So maybe you just I have no idea how to even create an onboarding thing for our financial services or for our laundry services or our car detail services or whatever. Maybe you just pop in a sentence. That's totally fine too. Okay, so I'm going to do both of these. So I'm going to copy this one here. I'm going to pop this here. Okay, so let's run these. I'm going to click continue. You're going to enter your name, and name and email. Then click generate my SOP. Okay, so it'll send it to your email. And let's go check that out. And I'll just go straight to the process, both of them. Okay, so this is for the larger one that we had. So purpose, boom. So it takes us to, I went in and clicked the email link, and it takes us here. Client onboarding for financial services based on total net worth is the name of this. Purpose, this SOP outlines the process for onboarding new financial services clients based on their total asset net worth, ensuring that each client receives the appropriate level of service and resources according to their financial status. And we goes through the initial client assessment, such as gathering necessary information, use a client information form available in the client management systems, etc. Okay. Goes through the entire, so step one, their tier one, referral to partner XYZ Corporation. For tier one clients, prepare a referral email using the referral template available in the shared drive. Include the client's contact information, asset details, and specific notes that may help XYZ Corporation in their outreach. Send the referral email and CC the client for transparency. Why this matters, okay? So it's going through the entire thing. It even gives you a quality control checklist at the end. Client information form is completed and accurate, okay? No, so these are common mistakes to avoid, troubleshooting, success criteria, and so on. So boom, look at that. That's cool. Now, what if I had no idea what I wanted to do? Zero. I just wanted to have a financial services onboarding system. Here you go. Remember, we just literally just put in like one sentence. Onboarding new financial services clients based on total asset net worth. Overview. Okay. Prerequisites. Access client management system, so and so. So step-by-step process. Step one, gather information. Schedule an initial consultation with the client to discuss their financial background. Use a standardized questionnaire, collect data, liquid assets, real estate holdings, retirement accounts, and so on and so forth. Why this matters. Boom, boom, boom. Goes through the entire thing. Pretty dang cool. Schedule follow-up meetings. Finalize client documentation. Quality control checklists. Common mistakes to avoid. Troubleshooting. Client is unresponsive to follow-up communications. Reach out and gives us reach out suggestion, and then success criteria. This is how excited I am, just because I can't even talk. How to know this task was completed correctly. The client has signed all necessary documentation. Client expresses satisfaction. Client begins utilizing recommended services within the agreed timeline. Pretty dang cool, right? So now if you needed this, you can print it. You can create a text file. You can copy the entire thing and then put it into a Google Docs. I might add some things later to turn it into a PDF or whatever. But what I do is I just click the copy button. I go to my Google Docs and I paste that into Google Docs, and then I can do whatever I want with it there. You can save it as a text file. You can save it as an MD file, markdown file. Pretty dang cool. Boom. One sentence gives you all of that. Okay. So now you can start creating your scalable business, your business that runs without you. Even if you just did one sentence, now you could start documenting and creating that one business that is making money while you sleep. So if that sounds cool to you, try it now. It's free, 100% free. You can do 3 of them a day. Go to instant.myprosulum.com. That's instant.myprosulum.com and get your process. Even if you don't know your exact process, you can get a cool template that you can easily use in your business. It's called the Instant Process Generator. Describe any task you do more than once and get this beautiful professional SOP in less than 60 seconds delivered directly to you. So if that sounds cool, go to instant.myprosolum.com, instant.myprosolum.com, and I will see you in the next video.